What's up, everybody? So it's time for another guide, and I'm going with Cologne. The reason why I'm going with Cologne is pretty simple. I think it's one of the stronger new player tags that you can have. And the reason why is because you're an elector that's fairly large, up in a region where you're going to largely be left alone by the great powers, and unlike a couple of other options, you are a theocracy, meaning that you get to play around with the theological mechanics and have some fun. But equally important, you're also having a lot of options. You can go in a lot of different directions as Cologne. And I wanted to show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, before we get into all that, let's just start talking about the basics. You guys have seen me do this before. I have the Monarch point generators, loyalty generators. I get it to just 50% loyalty so I can keep seizing land. If you want to get it to 60% so you can get the bonuses when it actually takes over that, go for it. I just typically am not staying at 60% long enough to really enjoy those bonuses, so it's a personal preference. You do you. If you have been watching around long enough, you'll notice I did not grab the where is it? The development of temples, even though that does give a lot more loyalty. Because you are a theocracy, you get a lot of extra loyalty, but you also get extra influence. And given the amount of influence you start off with, you need to be careful about what you pick, because you can very easily find yourself continuously ending up in disasters from having too much influence in the clergy. As far as the burghers are concerned, I did not grab Patronage of the Arts, and the reason why is I am slightly above 5 prestige, so even after I do my Pope click here for free Pope points, I'm still over 0, so it would still be 15. However, I'm going to instantly rival Brunswick and scornfully insult him, dropping me below 0 so then I can come back in here and get the 20. So it's just, be sure you do that in the right order so you end up getting the extra 5. That's the only point there. Now let's actually set up the military. I still am a firm proponent of cavalry. I know some people hate cavalry, so if that's the case, still keep your 1 cav. Just build 2 infantry, because I would rather have 2 cavalry that can win me the war than not. And then you're going to hire the free company, even though you're not realistically going to be able to afford it, because you're getting into a basically day 1 fight. You're going to be trying to show strength. Once that's done, let's see who is rival to Brunswick. We have Munster, we have Brandenburg. Well, both of those would be good options. It looks like Brandenburg, they hate me too. That's funny. All right, we'll pick up Munster, and Magdeburg is a no. Hesse, how about you? You don't like me either. Lüneburg, you're fine. You'll ally me. So that'll be another month before I can get them. I can pick up Mainz. I can pick up the Palatinate. I just need to scornfully insult whoever they don't like, and yeah, I will absolutely insult Strasbourg for you. And in between here, since you're a theology, you do not have the ability to either get rid of a heir or make this ruler into a general at the start. So you're stuck with this guy. The good news is he usually doesn't last that long. But you have a choice on what bonus you happen to get. You can get friendliness with foreign nations. You can get loyalty. You can get devotion. You can get Pope points, or you can get money. I want money. So this is just a different flavor, but just be aware, you can't throw this guy out of the room because he is too old for that. So, no baby chucking. Let's scornfully insult you. Ally the Palatinate. Got 2 more slots. Let's see here. Verdun, are you an option? No. Saxony? No. No. Saxony might... You might be an option. You hate Brandenburg, so let's wait a couple of days, send that insult. You're close. You'll be there in just a second. Once my guys are actually spit out, so I'm going to go ahead and unpause. Let's pick this up. And I know I said it was day 1, but it's close. Oh, you allied Brunswick, you suck. Yeah, I don't know why you allied Brunswick, but you suck. Got Saxony, though, so I can't really complain. Let's see, is there anybody else that is bordering Brunswick? I don't think so. Wurzburg, you're actually pretty useful. Oh, of course. Utrecht? Utrecht kind of sucks. He's not really strong. Either way, I'm going to have to look around and see what I can find. So I will look at that in a second. Otherwise, it's time to use these other 2 slots to find people that are relatively weak. And what I mean by that is people who do not have enough allies to realistically... Oh, I'll just ally you. I just realized, wait a minute, there's mains. To find people that have insufficient numbers of allies that you can pick off without any real issue. Trier is absolutely a viable option. Usually I'll find somebody like Nassau here that has no strong friends, and then I will attack them and humiliate the other person they're allied to if I want to do that instead, but I want a show strength off. Looks like Berg, but I want to attack Berg. I'll go ahead and do it with Trier, because you have a lot of options you can pick here. Just be sure you pick it before the end of the month. The reason why is once the monthly tick happens, that's when you get the CB. So either you have to commit in November and then still wait several more days, or just commit right before the end of December. And here, as you can see, I do outnumber them, so with any luck, I should be able to handle this. Okay, Berg does not want to give me access. You will give me access. Let's move you in. Get a general. Build a force limit so I have the extra morale, because I do absolutely need to win this. And now I'm simply going to fight this war. And be careful, because all of this, every last bit of this is woodland terrain, which means you get -1 dice rolls if you are the attacker. So be careful where and when you attack, because the last thing you need is to lose this war to an inferior enemy because you weren't paying attention. Because I have absolutely done that. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and fight this. I'll see you guys in a little bit. And welcome back. So, simple bit of advice here. This is a fort. I walked on, kept all my troops on there so they wouldn't attack me. Once I take the fort, I backed off, they moved onto the fort to resiege it, and then I get the defensive bonus because it is now my fort. Use the woods to your advantage. That's the only real advice there. Now that this is done, I've already fired the free company because I cannot really afford to maintain them. They got me my extra points and this little bit of money here, though they did cost me money, so, you know, it all balances out. And I get my show strength off. Not humiliate, show strength. They did fix the objective here, so now you can use show strength instead of humiliate, which is absolutely superior. And I strongly recommend you go for the show strength over the humiliate, because yeah, why wouldn't you? Now that that is done, I now have an extra 300 monarch points, which should help accommodate for the terrible heir, the terrible ruler I started with. My heir is not bad, but now my actual heir is hot garbage, so hopefully he passes before he takes control, or at least he doesn't last too long. There's unfortunately no way to control that portion of this. Now it's time to look at who I expand into next while I let my economy recover and my manpower tick back up. The targets are usually Berg, or Hesse, or Brunswick. These are the easiest people to usually go after. You can also pick up people like Nassau, and it looks like in this case, Nassau would be the best target to go after because they're only allied to Hesse. Meaning I can pick him off and probably use favors to call in my allies to deal with parts of Hesse, and be able to get Nassau and Hesse in the same war without having to deal with other nonsense. So I'm going to go ahead and aim for that, which means I need to take the time to actually, you know, get a spy network claim down. And I will bring you guys back when it's time to actually talk some more, because otherwise you're just sitting here listening to me ramble. See you then. And welcome back, everybody. So as you can see, I've been getting some favors down with the Palatinate and Saxony, and it's time to go after Nassau and Hesse. Oh, it looks like they allied Dortmund. Oh, no, I'm looking at Berg. Oh, they picked up Klebs. Alright, well, either way, we kind of outnumber you 2-1, so we should be fine. Oh, I need to cancel that. Let's not take 5 stability for military access. I always thought that was a little excessive. Alright, looks like my general got reassigned. Oh, that's right, he was on the Free Company. Either way, I should be able to walk in, take out Nassau's troops while my other allies start arriving to help me out. But this really shouldn't be too big of a problem. I will probably also take Cleves in this arrangement, but we'll see what happens. Just because I don't want to have to fight them again. Oh, it looks like I didn't get too far, but my allies are coming. Welcome, guys. Glad you can make it. Now, obviously I do have this, but I don't see the point in using it just yet, but I'm going to let this go for a bit, and I will bring you guys back when it's time to talk some more. See you then. And welcome back. So Munster was able to get to Cleves before I could, so I'm just going to piece them out for money and war reps, and then break a couple of rivalries. Because I don't want to give Munster any land. Why would I do that? Next, we have Hesse. Now, Hesse is nice because Thuringia does actually want Niederhessen, so I'm going to absolutely give it to them. The only thing that could have been better is if I had been smart enough to rival Hesse before I attacked them, and then finally, let's take out Nassau, because that's what we intended on doing in the first place. Now that that is done, remember, we're in the HRE. We can't just be taking land, so we're going to be releasing Nassau, and we're going to be releasing Hesse. We're also going to be taking strong duchies, because of course we are. Why wouldn't we take strong duchies? Now that that is done, let's get about 10%. And, I mean, I do want a fort, but I'm not building one there. Yeah, I'll dev. I'll figure out a way to dev. The reason why it's nice to do this in the HRE, because as you can tell, I took less aggressive expansion than just taking all of Hesse. Because if I did, that would be a problem. But now, I have a vassal that has a core on this land. And one of three things is going to happen. Either, one, I'm going to be able to get enough favors with Saxony to get this out of their hands later on. Two, the Emperor is going to make them hand it back. Or three, I'm going to attack them and be able to take this land for 25% of the aggressive expansion that it normally would have cost me. So, that is what you're trying to do. You're trying to take less aggressive expansion with less penalty because other people took it for you. And then you can get it for free or for cheaper than you would have normally. Once you start expanding, though, be sure you take your merchants and set them to establish communities. Doing it before is helpful, but it's not necessary. I'm going to bring this guy from Vienna to do it here because there's far more tags over here that I need to worry about. And I'm just going to keep going through, teching up, establishing myself, building up a larger army to get ready to take on Brunswick, and I'm going to start spying on him too. Though Berg was the next target, so once my army is ready, I'm attacking Berg, and I'm going to be doing the exact same thing to Berg, except I'm going to be feeding land to Munster this time. They're actually going to expand because I plan on getting that land back anyway. Okay, you guys, come on, let's get you all together. Didn't realize I wasn't having you guys together. And then, oh, don't have the favors, really? Oh, because I used them to call you in the last time. Alright, you'll get there soon enough. Alright, I'm going to have to go ahead and wait, because hurry up and wait is kind of what I have to do here. But I'll see you guys in a little bit. And welcome back. So I just pieced out Dortmund because they're too much aggressive expansion. Because they're a free city, and the fact that they're relatively higher development. And, well, I didn't co-belligerate them because they're a free city. Can't really do that. Now, I am able to piece this out right now. However, again, I want to take as little aggressive expansion as possible. So what I will do is, I will hand this to Munster, and if he won't take it, I will Alt F4 out, to then come back in and try and get it then. So it looks like he will take this, which will still allow me to do this, come back in here, and then release Berg as well. He will either give up the land because the Emperor demands it, or he will end up getting his alliance broken and I will get it back that way. The other option is that you can use favors. If you go into your system here, scroll all the way down, go to favors, return core province. So I can ask him to return Ravensburg for 15 favors. So if I see him about to break with me, I'll use these favors and I'll just make him hand them back. Berg, on the other hand, costs 27. It's based on development. So just keep in mind that that is absolutely an option for you. So use it so you're taking far less aggressive expansion, so you're able to expand far faster. But with that being said, let's unpause it and let's see if the Emperor makes him hand it back. Because you never know, he might just do it. Either way, it's time to look at you, Brunswick, because you are going to be my big problem. I need Saxony to come in, and again, I need more favors with Saxony. So it's just a constant grind with me and Saxony. But let's go ahead and just pick this up, and then I'm going to have to wait while I get Saxony ready to go, Planet ready to go, everybody ready to go, because I need to get about 20 favors with Saxony, because I need to make him not like Brunswick. So I'm going to do that. I'll see you guys when I'm done. What's up, everybody? So this week I'm giving away a CD key for Trek to Yomi. If you want a copy of this game, just leave a comment below with the word Yomi in it, and I'll go ahead and at the end of the week, pick one of those comments at random and leave the CD key as a reply to that comment. Obviously, this is public, so if you want to actually make sure you get it, turn on your notifications, because I might give you the CD key, and if somebody else sees it, and they put it in first, it's theirs, not yours. With that being said, let's get back to the video. So apparently the Emperor did make him demand unlawful territory, but he released it as Lip. So I'm going to go after Lip, because, well, why wouldn't I go after Lip? He has no friends. Let's just go in and wipe him out before I have to deal with any other nonsense. So give me access, please, so I can get through you to go and stand on him, even though my vassal will take care of it. Yeah, so I will get this core back. It's just not for free. It is just at 25%, which, okay. If that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. Flip this back to Berg. And the reason why, here's the thing, if you use favors or the Emperor returns it, you don't get any extra happiness or loyalty out of your subjects. The fact that I returned his territory makes him less rebellious. So there is an advantage to having to actually get the aggressive expansion, but again, it is still aggressive expansion you don't want to be having. But, as you can see, I have now massively expanded, and I'm going to continue to do so. See you guys in a little bit. And welcome back. So I didn't need the extra 20 favors with Saxony. Apparently he doesn't like him too much because he's willing to come in, and this is still in my favor, but I do need to be careful because Saxony, while he should be able to handle this pretty effectively, he is kind of off on his own. So I need to walk in and quickly take out Brunswick and their army, and then I can start worrying about other things. So just try and be strategic, try and wipe them out quickly, and then handle with the occupations. Don't get too bogged down on, am I getting this land or not? As long as you get one province, you're fine. So focus on what you need to focus on. With that being said, I need to fight this war. I'll see you guys in a second. And welcome back. So as you can see, I'm starting to break up the land even more. Let's see if Munster will take 2 provinces. He will not, so I can't do that. Let's see if Thuringia will take 2 provinces. He will not. So I need to Alt F4, reload up the last save, which was only a couple of months ago, or like the beginning of the month, and keep these 2 provinces for myself, give them these 2 provinces, it gives me favors, and then I'll get the land back. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll see you guys once it's time to talk a little bit more. And welcome back. Now I did want to point out, because some people, they don't have computers that are really strong enough to constantly Alt F4 every time they have a war where they can't hand something over. Just check in here. If they have a claim, that usually means that they're willing to take it. If it's marked in yellow, they're likely to. If, yeah, like right here, Munster has a claim, so they'll take this, but they don't have claims over here, so they're likely not going to. So you can do that instead. But as you can see, despite all the land I've taken, I really don't have a coalition forming. I can wait till the end of the year just to make certain that it doesn't form in this case. And that's actually probably what I'm going to do, just to make certain that I don't get slowed down in my other things. Now, be careful, though, because you will eventually get people that are becoming extremely disloyal to you because you have too many vassals. So you do have to go through here and annex some of these guys to start making them less annoying, because they will absolutely be annoying. So just be careful about that. You should be fine. Just try not to fall behind in tech. Try not to fall behind in anything. And you should be able to keep them loyal. With that being said, though, I'm going to wait till the end of the year and probably get this siege in time. And be able to get more money out of this war. But yeah, I actually was. I didn't expect to actually finish a siege in time. Let's see. Give me your money. Give me your war reps. Give me 2 of your rivalries. Thank you. Goodbye. Now, the only other thing I can say here is try and find people that have a lot of cores and use this tactic on those that are larger. Doing it on somebody that's only 2 provinces, it helps, but it's not imperative. Doing it to somebody like Brandenburg, that can be imperative, and especially because you can hand over the rest of it and vassalize him, take all of his stuff, and if you're happy with Austria, suddenly you're an elector. Well, you're already an elector, but you can do this with other people as well, so you can become an elector pretty easily that way. And there we go. Let's release Brunswick. And let's see, are we? We are. That's fine, though. Because, again, we can handle this. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure these guys all stay loyal. And I'm going to have to integrate Nassau and Hesse. But I'll see you guys when it's time to talk some more. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. So I finally hit Tier 3 government reform. The government reforms that you have here are pretty simplistic. You have idea cost reduction. You have some extra missionary strength if you're actually having to convert people. You have education for advisor costs, but then you have this last one here where it says new rulers will trigger an education event for future heirs. This is really important. As you can see, it says monarch administrative power. The thing is that, yeah, it's not based on the heir. It's based on the ruler. So this makes it so every time you have a new ruler, you'll get an ability to choose an extra stat point. So you can have a 766. So here, I mean, while I am falling behind in military, I don't really need military that much. I'm going for innovative ideas. And while I have plenty of admin points coming in, I'd like to get that tech cost reduction because that will help just as much as more military points. So I will take the extra admin point coming in. And as you can see, it should come up here with an extra one coming in. So it's just use that to your advantage and get that as a, oh, I need more of these points. And that'll help keep you afloat. And as you can see, I am integrating these people. That really isn't that big of a deal. It's not that hard to keep them loyal. You might have to dev them a little bit, but as long as you get the first 2 off the map, you can then work on the rest of them and start catching up. And as you can see, they did end up having to hand over Niederhessen. They're not handing over Göttingen, but for some reason they're letting the rebels just occupy it out. And if the rebels flip it back, I don't care either. Just again, they end up getting more liberty desire based off of them getting land back without your help. If it's a rebel that flips it back, they think they should be independent because of it. I don't know why Paradox programmed it that way, but they did. So this is the worst way, but I will still take free land. So I'm going to go ahead and let this happen, and then I'll bring you guys back when it's time to expand. Though it is time to expand, it is Trier, and they're allied to Bohemia, which I don't like. I really don't like. So I'm going to go and try and focus on Brandenburg instead and find somebody that'll help me fight into Brandenburg. Because I will absolutely give them land, because I'm going to be taking it back eventually. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. So it's been like 150 years since I saw you last. It's been so long because a lot of things have happened, and I've been trying to get to the point where I can show you what I'm doing, and to show you it can actually work. And the problem is that that took a long time because Austria got the Burgundian inheritance, which is fine. They released all the tags, and then almost immediately 3 of the tags they released got inherited as personal unions by other people, like within about 20 years. So I've spent most of my time not getting them to knock that off, which is, you know, fun, but still annoying when you're trying to actually get a guide where you're trying to talk about something. Either way, enough ranting. Cologne. You have a lot of options as Cologne. You start off right here in these 2 provinces, but down here, you have the Franconian culture. And as you can see, I've become Franconian. And there's a reason I've done that, but you have actually 4 choices that you can make. You have Westphalia, which you can form without having to culture shift. You have Franconia, which you'll have to come down here to the south, get Franconian culture, probably unstate things like I did, so that you can become Franconian primary and become Franconia and then recore stuff. So you can get their mission tree. You can go north and become Hanover, or you can become the Netherlands. You are pretty much in between all of these options except for Westphalia, which you are in. Why is this important? Both the Netherlands and Hanover have missions that allow them to get personal unions on Great Britain. And you'd think, that sounds amazing. Why wouldn't I do that? Because Franconia gets one on the French. You have to go down all the way into Bavaria and get Bavaria your own territory. But once you've done that and you own Paris, you can get a personal union CB on France. The reason why this is so important, though, is that if you also, after that, spread into the lowlands and take over what you need to, you can then become the Dutch. Meaning, you can do exactly what I've done here, take in the Franconian mission, which basically requires me to spread in this direction to Bavaria, and then get the CB on the French, get the personal union with France. Once they're secure, become the Netherlands, and then once I have the opportunity to get the personal union on Britain, I get that one too. And I'm just fine. I'm secure. I don't have to worry about anything. And all you have to do is make sure that you are Protestant and they are Anglican. Which they usually will do. And since you are in the great place of being Protestant, you will likely have that happen in your game. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I didn't bring you back to talk about it because it kind of happened in a weird way, is the Reformation and the League War. Obviously, pick whichever side you want. If you're not going for a English PU, it doesn't matter if you're Protestant or not. Obviously, you're probably going to end up going Protestant. And if that happens, just join the League War and do it. Unfortunately, I had a truce with Austria, so I couldn't join. And the League War started without me, and they lost very quickly because they started without me, and I owned half of Germany at the time. So, in that case, just play it by ear and try and win the League War as well as you can, but sometimes it's just not going to happen. Not the end of the world, just very frustrating to not be an elector anymore. But with that being said, that's all you really need to know as Cologne. You have 3 different directions you can go, or you can just stay as Westphalia. Westphalia is fine. It's just, you're not going to have any personal union CBs, which is kind of annoying. But being able to get France and England as one tag is pretty strong. Now, I will admit that in order to make the Dutch become primary culture without unstating things, because you have to do that for the most part with Franconian, and I didn't want to spend even more admin points with doing that for the Dutch. I did go down religious ideas because that gives you culture cost conversion. You also have it in your idea set as Cologne. I did go and spread the Dutch culture through a very large part of Germany because, of course I did. Why not? So that, I mean, I will say that this is not all Dutch because some of this is still Rhenish. It's the same color. I don't know why they made 2 colors right next to each other the same thing, but they did. So you may have to expand it or you may have to unstate stuff to do both of them, but getting both of these guys as personal unions is very, very, very strong. And if Burgundy doesn't fall under a personal union, you won't have to fight Austria, which is very nice. With that being said, though, there's not a whole lot else to say. The nice thing about Cologne is that you can kind of play it how you want in whatever direction you want. If you want to play just very tall and try and go Cologne, absolutely go Netherlands or go Hanover, and there won't be any problems. You just want to play tall and dominate militarily, you can form Westphalia, or you can form Franconia. It doesn't matter. If you want to do what I'm doing and do both of these guys in personal unions, go Franconia. Once you have this mission done and you have France secured, then you flip Dutch and you go to the Netherlands. Because once you do that, you then have the State General, the one where you can have a somewhat republic, so you need to make sure you have high opinion with France before you do it. But then suddenly you're able to have personal unions and still have elections where it's not problematic. Be aware that you have to be a monarchy or this is not a restoration union. It'll be permanent claims over the French region. So you're going to have to flip out of being a theocracy at some point. But that's it. You guys should be good to go with that. If you guys like the guides, like and subscribe. I will be making more of them. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Have a great night. Thank you for watching.